Okay, so I really think the study guide is going to help you the most prepare for this exam. This is not an easy exam. This is probably the hardest one at this point. But, here we go. So there's a lot of information, but use the study guide to help you, isolate that to make your page of notes. Okay, and I think once you see some of these answers, some of these problems, you're going to go, oh, that's not so bad. Okay. We're going to be using this function for questions 1 and 2. So it says using arrows indicate the end behavior of the function. So this has to do with end behavior. So you'll need to look that up if you don't remember, but it has to do with the leading term. This is negative and this is even. So there's a chart somewhere in the videos that I gave you that says if n is even, if n is odd, and if a, that's, so you're looking at the term ax to the nth as the leading term. If a is greater than 0, meaning it's positive, and if a is less than 0, meaning it's negative. Well, if a is positive and it's even, then your arrows, it's going up to the right and up to the left. If it's even but a is negative, then you're going down to the left, down to the right. If a is positive and it's odd, then you're going this way, down to the left, up to the right. And if a is negative and n is odd, then it's the other way. So you're going up to the left and down to the right. There's the chart. So now you don't have to look it up. Okay, which one is this? This is negative and even. So it's this one right here. So all you're going to do for the answer is put down to the left, down to the right. You can write it out in words, but you can just use the arrows, okay? Find the x-intercepts. To find the x-intercepts, you set it equal to 0. You set the function equal to 0. Now, hopefully it'll factor. I'll make it factor, but here we can factor out the GCF, negative 2x to the third times x minus, 2 equals 0. Okay, so you can distribute to see if that's true. Negative 2x cubed times x is negative 2x to the fourth, and then negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, and you have the x cubed. Okay, so either this equals 0, negative 2x cubed equals 0, or this equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0. So this time it looks like we're only going to get 2 x-intercepts. Here, I mean, you can divide by negative 2, but its x is going to be 0. If you cube 0, that's going to be 0, and 0 times negative 2 is 0. Over here, you're going to get x equals 2. So there are 2 x-intercepts. I'm going to write them as ordered pairs, 0, 0, and 2, 0. Now, if you do this, this is going to help you. All these tools are going to help you, A, B, C, D, whatever. They're going to help you graph the function, and that's going to be like the last thing to do on this page. Okay, state the multiplicity of the x-intercepts found in part B. Okay, so for 0, 0, you can just put MULT. Multiplicity is 3. It comes from right here. How many times does the x factor appear? It's x cubed, so the multiplicity is 3. Now, what about the 2? So at 2, 0, the multiplicity is 1, because there's a 1 right there that you can't see. Okay, that answers that question. Is the function even? Well, it's not even. Now, the test for that is you put in f of negative x, and that's going to look like negative 2, negative x to the fourth, plus 4, negative x cubed. Make sure I'm getting the function right. Where's that function? Yeah. Okay, you put in negative x. If it comes out the same, it's even, same as the original. If it doesn't, then it's not even. So this question is just asking if it's even. Here you're going to get negative 2x to the fourth because when you raise a negative to a fourth power, an even power is going to be positive. So you're just going to have negative 2x to the fourth. And here you're going to have 4 times negative x cubed. When you raise it to an even power, that's not going to, it's going to keep it negative. Anyway, that simplifies, if you want to see it simplified, as negative 2x to the fourth minus 4x cubed. Now, look on your paper, that's not the original function, so this is not even. So it says, is the function even? No, function is not even. The quick way to tell is if all the x terms are even, then it's going to be even. If they're not all even, then it's not. Okay. Now they want us to find f of 1. This is going to give us another point. So f of 1, we're just evaluating the function. That'll be on the final because I think that's one of the important things you should be able to do from this class. Can you plug in 1 and get the right answer? And when you do that, I obviously don't have enough room, but you're going to get negative 2 plus 4, which is going to be 2. That tells you an ordered pair. It tells you, so we found it, it's right there, but note to self, that's the ordered pair 1, 2. When you plug in 1 for x, you're getting 2 for the output, okay? Now we're going to plug in negative 1 right here for part F. So negative 2 to the negative 1 to the fourth, I'm sorry, negative 2 times negative 1 to the fourth, plus 4 times negative 1 cubed, and that's going to give you negative 2 times 1 minus 4. So what's that going to be? Negative 2 minus 4 is going to be negative 6. So that gives you the ordered pair negative 1, negative 6. Okay? So those ordered pairs, like I said, at the end, that's going to help us graph this. What are the maximum number of turning points? Okay, this goes by the degree of the polynomial. N is 4. So the max turning points is 4 minus 1, which is 3. So that's the maximum number of turning points, 3. Okay, now they want us to use all that information to graph the function. Okay, so let's see what we have for ordered pairs. We had 0, 0 was an ordered pair. There. Then we have 2, 0. That's an ordered pair right there. Doesn't want to make it. And then we have 1, 2. So that's an ordered pair. And negative 1, negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have these ordered pairs. Now, remember, we're just going to get a rough sketch of the graph. Okay? That's all we're going to do. We know the multiplicities. Multiplicity of 0, 0. So I'm just going to point this out. You don't have to do this on your test. You just have to graph it. But the multiplicity is 3. That means it's going to come up and pass through, but it's going to have a little curve to it. And then the multiplicity here at the other 0 is 1. So it's just going to pass through. Okay, so I'm going to draw what I can do. I just do my best. It's something like that. That is a rough sketch. Now, one thing I didn't talk about when I was drawing this, how do I know where to start? Well, remember that end behavior? The end behavior was like this. So we had to start from down and go up, right? And then, so anyway, that's why I kind of missed that point there, but that's a rough sketch of what it looks like, okay? So a lot of pieces, a lot of things to remember. Look at each piece, see if you can figure it out. When you put it all together, you get a rough sketch of the graph, okay? So